What are electromagnetic fields? Electromagnetic fields are an invisible field of energy, also called radiation, that consist of electric and magnetic components. These energy areas are created by electricity, which is the movement of current or electrons carried through wires. Think of water flowing through a pipe. The electrons flow through the wire in a similar way, and the pressure required to keep them moving is called the voltage. The higher the voltage, the stronger the electric field. The way the pressure is measured is by volts per meter, or V/M. The magnetic field is caused by the current moving through the wires or through electrical devices. It gets stronger as the current intensifies. However, as it gets further away from the source, it weakens. The way magnetic fields are measured is in microteslas, or μt, or millionths of a Tesla. Another difference between electric fields and magnetic fields is that devices produce electric fields whether they are on or off, while magnetic fields are only active when the current is moving, which is generally only when the device is turned on. However, things like power lines transmit magnetic fields constantly because the electric current flows continuously. It's important to note that electric fields can be blocked or hampered by buildings and other obstructions, but magnetic fields penetrate people, animals, buildings, and other materials. When people discuss electric fields and magnetic fields, which are a result of electromagnetic radiation, they use the term electromagnetic fields or EMFs. The EMFs fall into one of two categories, high frequency or low to mid frequency. The high frequency EMFs can damage DNA or cells and include such things as gamma rays and X-rays. These dangerous EMFs fall in the ionizing radiation area of the electromagnetic spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum ranges from one extreme to the other. The spectrum goes from long wavelengths, which are low-frequency exposure, to short wavelengths, which are high-frequency exposure. Ionizing radiation is so intense it can change molecules and atoms by removing the electron. An example of high levels of ionizing radiation being released would be something like a nuclear power plant accident, which can damage or kill people and animals. Low to mid-frequency exposure can come from such things as power lines, appliances, infrared radiation, or visible light, which are wavelengths that can be seen by humans. These EMFs are not proven to cause direct damage to DNA or cells, as they are in the non-ionizing radiation area of the electromagnetic spectrum. But this is controversial. What are the health concerns of electromagnetic fields? Cancer is one of the primary areas being studied in relation to electromagnetic fields, and the concern is that the non-ionizing EMFs are found everywhere, like our workplaces, schools, stores, offices, and homes. While the ionizing radiation is a proven danger, as of yet, there has not been established a connection between non-ionizing EMFs and direct damage to cells or DNA. However, speculation includes possible non-direct links, such as hormone damage. Since the hormone melatonin might be a factor in suppressing some tumors, research continues in the cause and effects. While studies continue, there are stories about experiences where EMFs appear to be related to illness and even death. In California, a new school was built in 1990, and subsequently, a cluster of cancer cases was diagnosed. In the next 15 years, 16 out of 137 staffers had been stricken with 18 cancers, 3 times as many as expected. The students also were affected, with some dying of the disease. A noted epidemiologist, Sam Milham, MD, decided to look into this as his field of interest was EMFs and the electrosmog generated by our home wiring, appliances, cell phones, radio, TV, and Wi-Fi transmitters. His conclusion indicated that working just 1 year in the school increased cancer risk by 21%, and cumulative exposure could increase risk by 64%. Scientists who have been studying the effects believe that chronic exposure to low-level radiation can still be harmful and might lead to cancer, damage immunity, increase heart disease, or contribute to Alzheimer's and dementia. A new area of concern is electrical hypersensitivity, or EHS, which can cause dizziness, digestive ailments, fatigue, and tinnitus. Studies show that up to 3% of the population might be clinically hypersensitive, with a third of us being sensitive to a lesser degree. The other concern is that electromagnetic pollution is increasing daily. Are EMF emissions regulated? As a result of the intense scrutiny of the effects of EMF emissions, many countries have acted to protect citizens from the dangers. France, England, and Germany have removed their wireless networks in schools and public buildings, and Russia has suggested children younger than 18 should not use cell phones. However, in the US, the evidence has not yet led to any meaningful regulations. As to be expected, there is a strong resistance from power companies and cell phone providers who have funded a vast majority of the research. Electromagnetic fields and the real estate agent. With all the different things to be aware of as a real estate agent, you can now add EMFs. In recent years, it's become a bigger issue, and concerns about the EMFs in a neighborhood or on the property have increased. EMFs can affect the value of property. In litigation, landowners have been compensated by the courts for the damage caused by the negative perception and fears buyers have about EMFs, with the result of reducing the price the property can sell for. Many buyers are including a test for EMFs in their inspection requirements. There are experts trained in the detection of EMF and radio frequency, RF, and they can also help with mitigation using different shielding applications designed to lower exposure. They can identify the sources, measure the impact, and evaluate the options. As a real estate agent, you'll want to know the resources in your area so you can advise your buyers or sellers appropriately. Familiarize yourself with the locations of potential sources, such as facilities or cell phone towers, and inform your buyers that there are tests available. As part of full disclosure, it is wise to have buyers fully informed when they purchase in order to lessen later problems.